Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Easy Markets Daily Picture International with me, Darius. Today's the 20th of July, 2023. So, welcome, everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. Look, I'll disappear from that little left corner in there for a little bit, and I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, just a quick mentioning of our Easy Markets website, which you can always check out for more information about us. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to help out. Now then, guys, let's jump into the charts. The first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225. And looking at the picture here, you can see that this barrier, the one that I kept on talking about, the 32,923, 960, provided good resistance. Yes, we had a bit of an overshoot, but we had a false breakout here. So, and then we saw the index reversing to the downside. Well, in a way, I think that they are more, if we continue to trade below this territory, then yes, more downside could come. The only problem with that more downside is the fact that we could go lower. We could test the 50-day EMA again. We could test this upside line as well. And if it provides good support, a rebound back up could be possible. So, in other words, something like this is still an option. Now, if we start breaking the upside line here, drawn from the low the 15th of March, now that's where, yes, we could start examining some lower levels, but I think that more sellers could join in on a drop below the 31,800 territory right here. Break below this would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and we could aim for that 100-day EMA. China 50 index. So we had a beautiful up move here, a strong up move, but as you know, as you probably follow the news, PBoC, the People's Bank of China, decided to maintain the interest rate, maintain the loan prime rate at the same spot. Can kind of keep it at the same level. So the expectation was already for a 3.55%. So as previous, and it kind of came out and confirmed. So People's Bank of China decided to kind of keep the rate in order to kind of keep stimulating the economy. As we know that their inflation right now is at 0%. The June number came out, and it came out at 0%. So yes, of course, everybody's afraid of deflationary pressures right now. And I think that this is what the Fed will eventually have to be afraid of as well, because look, as I keep on mentioning this, and I keep on saying that the Fed and the Bank of Canada actually as well, both of them have their interest rates much higher than actually their inflation. So in comparison to, for example, Australia and the EU. So yeah, maybe that way too rapid move to kind of bring inflation down, maybe that was, let's say, maybe too aggressive. But at the end of the day, I would say this way, that you never know. You just have to do it, and you just see, and you deal with the constant consequences. Of course, you think about it, but you have a look at all the scenarios. But every time the economy might be a little bit different. It might be more resilient to certain things. And in general, look, inflation did start to move lower, and it has been already moving for for quite a while, for half a year at least. But of course, when you're thinking, so why I'm not feeling it, the counter, or the till when I'm in the supermarket. Well, I think that it's not really passed on to the consumer. So So yeah, it's kind of stays at the business level. But anyway, look, for now, you can see that China 50 index here, it tested the downside line again. This one right here, drawn from the high of the 10th of May. We tested it and we kind of drifted back down again. So look, some of the levels have to be redrawn. I think this one I will pick up on. So yep, this is the area that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on for the downside in the short run. Excuse me, just bear with me one moment. Let me just clear up my throat a little bit. Okay, apologies for that, guys. Apologies for disappearing, but yeah, it's a morning for me, so my voice kind of goes down a little bit overnight, so I need to kind of clear it up a little bit. So, of course, I'm not a singer, and I don't do all these la 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 la, but hey, I think I need to start doing that. Anyway, looking at the picture here, in general, yes, I mean, it seems like we would like to see some more upside on this one, but I think that a break of this downside line again and a push above the 50-day EMA again would be required. So until I get that, I'm not really getting way too comfortable with higher levels, because if this is just showing me that, it's currently providing strong resistance, this shorter term downside line, and if we see the index also falling somewhere below this 12,475 territory, then yeah, we could potentially start looking at some of these lower areas. Now, ASX 200, beautiful test of the downside line, mission accomplished. Now, what's next? Well, what's next? Next is a bit of a retracement, I believe so. So, look, we've tested this hurdle, the 7,337. So, a nice, beautiful 7337 number here. So we tested that area. We found resistance there, and we drifted back to the downside. We fell actually back below this hurdle, this 7,293. What's interesting, because look, I've drawn a Fibonacci here previously, and the Fibonacci worked out perfectly because we tested that 23.6, from which we rebounded, pushed higher, and like I said, yeah, we tested my target. Great. And now the question is, can this downside line continue to provide resistance? Now, look, this Fibonacci here, I think I need to shift it a little bit this way. And I don't think that actually is going to carry much significance anymore. You know what? Let's get rid of it. At the moment, what I'm going to do here is, no, I'm going to use this arrow. In order to go higher on ASX 200, I would like to see a break of this downside line and a push maybe also above this 7337 barrier. For the downside, well, as long as we stay below the 7,293 here, then yes, I will consider maybe a bit of a retracement. Of course, I'll get more excited with lower levels if we do start falling somewhere below this hurdle, below the 7,215. So initially, I'm just aiming for this one, and then I'll take it from there. If we clear that one, then yes, great. More sellers could join in. Dow Jones Industrial. Oh, by the way, I can see there in the chat room there, Devil Dave. Good morning to you too. Good morning, everyone. As always, good morning, everyone. So yeah, I keep on forgetting this one. Let's type into the chat room. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a wonderful start of Thursday. So guys, Dow Jones Industrial Average, looking at the picture here, beautiful rally yesterday. You can see on the futures here, the Dow Jones futures, we reached my target, the 35,412. Beautiful move here. I talked about this in my previous videos, and there we go. We got that test, the highest point of April of 2022, so that got tested. So now what's next? Well, to be honest, I kind of would like to see a bit of a retracement, to be honest, but again, the market doesn't always do what I want it to do. So look, I'm going to keep it short and simple for now. As long as we stay below the below that hurdle, below that 35,412, then yes, I will kind of stick to maybe a bit of a retracement. I would like to stick to that idea. However, if we start popping above the 35,412 zone, then yes, more buyers could join in. A forthcoming higher high will be confirmed. The only thing is, of course, guys, we are in the earnings season right now, so just kind of be careful, be cautious. Watch the big boys, who are going to be reporting. So the big components of every index. So, for example, Goldman Sachs, Microsoft, these are McDonald's, Caterpillar, Visa, so in the United Health Group. So these guys are the components of the Dow, and if you can keep an eye on those, how they perform, because again, I think Goldman Sachs already did report this week. Let me just double check. Yeah, it missed the EPS, but good revenue. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, keep your eyes on the indices, guys, because again, we have yesterday we had, for example, Tesla and Netflix reporting. So I'll get to Nasdaq in a bit, but those did not do good. In general, the both stocks fell after hours because they reported after the closing bell. So we might see maybe a bit of a down move here today in the Nasdaq. But okay, let me finish off with the Dow Jones. But yeah, that's the situation basically. Look, if we continue to trade below the 35,412 territory, then yes, another decline here could be possible. The S&P 500, similar story. Now, we got my move here, so the question now, can we drift back below this hurdle, below this 4,588? And why I'm talking about this is because basically we formed something of a shooting star right here. So yeah, just a second. Yep, so we formed something like that, a shooting star here. So let's see if that's gonna, indicate a nice, beautiful reversal here. So yes, on the S&P, you have to keep an eye on also on Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, probably more importantly, Tesla. As I already said, but they're trading on both S&P and S&P takes into account that one. ExxonMobil, so Berkshire Hathaway, so these guys as well. PepsiCo for sure. Look, I would say right now, just keep your eyes on this in general. Like I said, I would like to see a move to the downside, but again, I really don't know how this market is going to play out, because maybe it will continue rallying this whole week, and it's going to do something maybe going into next week. So let's say a decline or something like that, because next week we have the Fed, which is expected to raise rates. And look at this, 99.8. Honestly, it's like almost 100%. But anyway, so yeah, at this point, I would say just be cautious, be careful as always, and look, do not exclude this to be a possible shooting star. And if that's the case, then maybe a bit of a retracement here could be possible. However, if this remains above this 4,588 zone, then yes, my next target is the 4,630 zone, which I've mentioned before, and that's the highest point of March of 2022. So yeah, Nasdaq. So yeah, look at this. This one, the futures did decline. I mean, obviously, because we saw Tesla and Netflix reporting bad numbers. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. So you can basically those two stocks are going to open lower most likely today. Yep. Just bear with me. Yep, that's correct. So yeah, look, I think that if we do fall below the 15,857 territory right here, I will consider a move a little bit lower. This is what I talked about previously. So yeah, let's be careful, be cautious, and if we do fall below this hurdle, then yes, I will start aiming lower. I will then aim slowly, and this is the short term, from the short term perspective, I'll aim for not this one, but this territory right here, this 15,665, and good potential target, in a way, strong potential target. But if that gets cleared, then yes, certainly further declines are possible. So, now then, in terms of the upside, I would need to see a push above this hurdle right here. Let me just grab this arrow. There we go. We need to see a push above the 16,000 territory again in order to go higher. The German index, DAX. Good result here. Good test of the 16,332. Great. I talked about this, and I said to you that if we do break this this downside line, then yes, I will aim higher a little bit. Basically, initially my target was this one, the 16,332, and this is my ideal target, the 16,571. But to be honest, I think it's time to redraw a few things. So remove the downside line, no longer needed. And now the question is, can this barrier provide resistance, continue to provide resistance? Can this one right here, the 16,332, I'm gonna mark the hell out of it because I really like this barrier. So if we do push through it, great. That's when I'll get more comfortable with the upside, and I'll aim for my ideal target here, the 16,571. As long as we remain below this, well, guys, honestly, this could still drift lower. Now, my other problem right now is I think that I need to redraw this as well. Because, again, a range. Again, a range, and I think that it needs to be redrawn here, remarked. I think this is something a little bit better here. I like this one. I like this level. I'm going to keep it for now, but we have a little bit of a range. So let me just grab this as well. There we go. So we have a little bit of a range, which is a bit of a pain in the bottom. But hey, as we already know, DAX is the one that really likes its ranges. So just don't be surprised with that. Honestly, DAX is one of those that keeps on ranging. Whenever it has an opportunity, it just freaking ranges. Honestly, it's like just wow. Anyway, so look, my microphone. So what I'm looking at here right now. So in general, I'm looking for a breakout. So if we are establishing this as to be a range, then I'm waiting for a clear breakout. This downside line, I think it's no longer needed, and it's just going to be in the way. I think this arrow can go, and I'll just use this one. And basically, I'm going to stick to this little range here, and if we do start clearing, then yep, if we start clearing one of the sides of this range, then yes, that's where I'll get a little bit more comfortable with the next short-term directional move. Now, some of you might say, and according to some TA rules, whenever we enter, let's say, something like consolidation, like a range, and let's say the previous trend was to the upside, and then we start ranging, then it is more likely that the breakout might happen in the direction of the prevailing trend, which was here. So in a way that I'm leaning towards the upside here. Now, I've seen this happening in the opposite direction, so you know what? I'm going to be very boring, and I'm just going to say, wait for the clearance and then do something about it. And you can do something about it. The FTSE 100. So yeah, beautiful test of this downside line. Mission accomplished. We broke it as well. So okay, everything's kind of, pointing a little bit more towards the upside. So in other words, if we are looking for some higher levels at this point, what I would like to see here is a push above the 100-day EMA. In general, what I'm searching here for is a push above all of the EMAs on my daily chart here. Yes, we broke the downside line. Okay, that's great. That's one step. The next step for me is, like I said, to get a nice good push, and not only a push, but also seeing the body of the daily candle staying above this hurdle, and then yes, more sellers could join in here. So US dollar index, there we go. We're getting some some power again, because yesterday, look, this was beautiful. It reached my target. Look at this. I mean, I talked about this and I said to you that if we pop above the 99.70, then I'll aim for this 99.86, and if that gets cleared, well, my next target is the 100 or the 23.6, which is roughly around the 100.22 level. Boom. There we go. Fantastic result, guys. Fantastic move. Now what's next? Well, we're pushing a bit higher again. Now the question is, can we remain above this 99.86 territory? If we can, then yes, I will maybe consider our move back down here towards this hurdle here, this 99.26. And if that gets cleared, then yes, guess what? Further declines here could be possible. Now, in terms of the upside, further upside, look, as I said to you, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside, but I'm not really getting way too comfortable with higher levels. I really, like I said, personally, I would like to see a larger correction here to the upside, maybe even towards the 38.2. That would be just spectacular. But as I said, I cannot really get everything what I want. So at the moment, I'm just keeping an eye on that 23.6 and also this 99.86. If we continue to trade above it, then yes, more buyers could still, or should I say, the buyers could remain in control. Look, in terms of the news, by the way, today, and as I mentioned, the Philly Fed is something to keep an eye on today. So this news is coming out in the U.S. Together with the initial and continuous jobless claims. Later on, we'll get the existing home sales in the U.S. as well. So check out the economic calendar for that. Check out the times. So we might get some nice activity during those times. So keep your eyes on that one. And just, I would say, be very careful. And this is, like I said, this is my game plan for US dollar. Again, let's see how it's going to play out. Gold, there we go. Beautiful move towards my targets. Mission accomplished. Fantastic. And now we're seeing a bit of a retracement here. So one thing that I really want to do, first of all, here is clear up the chart. Honestly, I want to leave some of them, of course, don't get me wrong, but actually when it's like this already, when it's a little bit way too much, I just rather get rid of everything and, draw again. So 1983.85, I've spoke about this level, if you remember, in my recent videos. And yes, it worked out perfectly. So great. Now I'm going to mark this one, and I'm just going to keep it here as a good strong area of resistance. Now this level here, if you remember, the 1963, or should I say 1964 level, got broken, and yes, this is how we reached my target. Now, in terms of the downside, let's say if you're maybe looking for some lower levels on this one, well, to be honest, I would probably look at something around here. There we go, there we go, there we go. So this upside line, and again, this upside line is a little bit on the tentative side. It's not really the most spectacular one. So I would say at this point, we are observing just the price action. As long as we remain here above this upside line, but below this hurdle, then yes, we will remain neutral. So if we do start pushing through this territory right here, then yes, more buyers could join in. So if we do push above this 1983.85 levels, then yes, my next target is the psychological 2000 territory, which I want to bring back onto the chart here. So it's around here somewhere. And then after that, the 2020 level here could be also a good one. 2022, 2020. So yeah, let me just put this one here as well. Actually, 2022, you know what? I'll stick to that one. So that's going to be the game plan for the upside, for further upside. And look, everybody's already again targeting that psychological 2000 zone. Look, maybe a bit of a retracement here could be possible first, and then maybe we'll see some sort of a further move north. But if we start dropping below this upside line and we fall somewhere below this hurdle here, this 1963-64, then yes, I'll aim for the 50 and the 100-day EMAs. But if those get cleared, well, guess what? Further declines are possible here. So you have this, if we also fall below the 1945, then yes, the next target is the 200-day EMA, wherever it's going to be. Oil, just a quick update. So yeah, we tested this beautiful level here, as you can see, the 77 zone. We failed to break above it, so yep, I'm just observing the price action for now. As I said to you yesterday, I'm going to stick to my game plan. I am keeping an eye on that 77 territory in order to go higher I need to see a clearance of that one in order to, yes, consider some higher levels. But for the downside, a drop below the 73.86 territory might do the trick for a few more sellers. Now, wheat, something that I really wanted to talk about. So, as you know, the recent news that, yeah, from Monday, Russia came out of the agreement with, providing safe channels for the Ukrainian wheat to go through. Look, in general, yes, we're seeing that spike and we're seeing that move. So if you manage to capture this, congratulations. I talked about some of these levels previously. In general, I would say, yes, the price is going higher, and I think that it might still push a little bit more to the upside. So let me just grab this arrow. I'm going to reuse it. So in other words, if we pop above the 756 to 57 territory, let's put it this way, 757. So if we do pop above that barrier, then yes, certainly we will go higher, maybe towards these levels, this territory, and then we will, take it from there. So this could be my next target. But again, at the moment, look, in general, we could already start aiming higher because, again, as long as we remain above the 200-day EMA, there is a good chance that this could go further north. However, some of you might say, but hey, what about this situation? Well, yes, I mean, that could be as well. So let's put it this way. As long as we stay, once you start seeing this one falling below the 200-day EMA, I think this is where you need to get out and just kind of take the hit and not to risk it anymore. So yeah, at this point, look, everything's quite positive here on the price side. We are above the 718 zone. Okay, so, and also above this 200-day EMA. Now, my question, of course, is that, look, yes, okay, the news is not good, not very positive for the supply of wheat. However, both countries need to sell it, and both countries are relying on on large profits from selling that wheat. So I would say, in a way, they cannot really, not sell it. So otherwise, they have huge piles of stock. So they cannot really, let's say, get rid of it. So maybe this is just an attempt to ramp up the price just by a little bit, increase it, and then you maybe bring it to 800 or something like that. But look, I don't think, like I said, they would really cut everybody off, because again, it's gonna either it's gonna just rot there, just gonna, it's not gonna be beneficial for anybody. So they still have to sell it, and yeah, I think that this whole thing is like maybe a bit of a play to increase the price a little bit. So now then, Bitcoin, let's jump into cryptos. Again, yeah, we're still in a range. Honestly, I'm not really going to talk anymore about this one. We're in the range. We're waiting for a clear breakout. And this level here, I think this has to be drawn this way. Let me just put this on the chart. So yeah, this is the way it has to be drawn here. So I'm not really doing much. I'm just waiting for it to make a move out of this range, and then I'll do something about it. Yeah. Bitcoin Cash. This one is still below this lower side of the descending triangle pattern. Now, according to all the TA rules, such patterns tend to break to the downside, and it did. But it seems like we're, it seems like BCH-USD is kind of in love with this hurdle and keeps on hugging it. So, but hugging it from underneath, and well, what the question is, can this, get, disattached or something, or unattached, and just kind of fall lower. So as long as we stay below this hurdle, this 249 territory, I will remain a little bit on the bearish side. If we start pushing back above it, then maybe yes, we could start looking at some higher levels. But if we break the downside line, now that's where I'll get a little bit more excited with higher areas. Ripple, so this one's pushing above the 0.8256 territory, so that's good for the bulls. However, I'm not rushing into anything because, again, yesterday we also pushed above it and we created a false breakout. So now the question is this going to be the same thing? Well, let's wait and see. For now, I'm just observing this one. If we stay, if the body of the daily candle here stays above this hurdle, then yes, I'll go higher. AUD and AUDUSD. So yes, beautiful test of the 50-day 50% retracement on the Fibonacci. Look, yesterday I talked about this and I said to you I'm going to stick to this one, and I'm out of curiosity, I want to see if this worked out. To be honest, the same thing almost. So same 50%. So yeah, anyway, we're not far. So in other words, look, we reached it. I can remove my Fibonacci now, and I think I can stick to some of these levels here. So look, I think this is what I'm going to mark here. So if we do push above the 0.68, like 30, 40, yes, maybe I'll start aiming for the upside again. However, if we continue to trade below this territory, then maybe a bit of a retracement back down here could be possible. So in other words, something like this that I'm keeping an eye on. So maybe even for the upside, 0.6842 is the one to watch. For the downside, as long as we stay below this territory, then yes, another decline here could be possible towards that 200-day EMA. AUDNZD, just a quick update on this one as well. Look at this. I mean, again, another false breakout. And then again, we are getting a hold up here near this 1.0842. Okay, so now my question is, do we have enough, or should I say, do the bulls have enough steam or, power or strength or whatever? Do they have enough of it to push this one further? They keep on pushing it, and for the third day in a row, but they're struggling to stay above it. So the bears are really fighting back here. So again, the question is, can we stay above this? And at the moment, I would say I'm cautious. I'm neutral, or sorry, I'm cautiously bullish, I would say. And if we do stay above this territory, and that means we would stay above all of the EMAs on my daily chart, and that means that we could see, a further move north here. But again, these are the criteria for me to meet. And if I don't meet those, if that doesn't meet those, then, well, yeah, maybe we could see a drift back down. However, with the back down drift, I need to see a drop back below the 1.08 territory, and then I'll do something about it. AUDJPY, so beautiful move to the upside, looking good. But again, this 95.15 zone is doing a good job right now. It's providing fantastic resistance. So let's see if this is going to continue doing so. But if it surrenders, then of course, yes, I'm going to aim for this downside line. Simple as that. And some of you might say, hey, Darius, but maybe this is a nice bullish flag forming. Yeah, for sure. Either way, it could be the bullish flag, but either way, I need this clearance here above this 95.15 territory in order to go higher. CHFJPY, something that you probably don't look at very often, but I just wanted to pick up on this, guys, because this is quite interesting. Look, this is like a battle of the safe havens, basically. CHF is a safe haven, and JPY is also a safe haven. Now, who's gonna outpull who? And for now, it seems like, yeah, CHF is the one that is, the strongest one, and we can see that, of course, against other major counterparts like the euro, like the USD, like AUD. So yeah, this one is pushing strongly to the upside. Now for this one, actually, I want to jump into a monthly chart, and you can see how far we have traveled. I mean, I don't have much history here, but look, in general, I would say this is quite a significant run, and we keep on running. My question, when will it stop? Because look, I mean, even on the monthly, on the weekly, and yes, on the daily as well, we have moved far enough from the EMAs, and we have not tested neither of my EMAs here, the 50 nor the 100 nor the 200, quite a while now. Look, I mean, since March of this year, the end of March. I mean, it is just crying for a test of one of these EMAs. But again, we are not seeing any reversal yet. So maybe if we start falling somewhere below this 161.65 territory, maybe then we could consider a move lower here towards one of the EMAs. But at this point, I don't know. It's really difficult. maybe if the stock market starts reversing lower sharply, then yeah, maybe more people will start jumping into the yen. So again, for now, just let's keep an eye on it. Let's keep an eye on this territory. Every single time I'm watching the previous day high, and for example, in this case, because every day we're creating a forthcoming higher high. So if we do pop above the 163.12, then yes, this may attract more buyers into the game. USDJPY. So this one's also interesting. And look, we have moved nicely to the upside. We remained above the 23.6. Today we came back down, tested that area, and rebounded again. So in a way, I think that this is all in line with the idea of aiming for the 50-day EMA right here. So that's what I'm going to do here. And this 50-day EMA coincides nicely with my 38.2% retracement on the Fibonacci. On this one, I'm still keeping the Fibonacci's because again, it's so far it's working out. So this is going to be my next target. Let's see how this is going to play out. If it falls somehow strongly below the 100-day EMA and falls below the 138.75 territory, then yes, I will consider a move to the downside here. USDCHF. Now this one is, yeah, I mean, looking at this picture here, first of all, I need to get rid of the Fibonacci's, no longer needed. Look, I will stick to my game plan. If I want to go lower, drop below the 0.8555 territory, which is the current lowest point of this week, is needed. This way, a forthcoming lower low will be confirmed, and then, yes, we could go lower. For the upside, a push above the 0.8631 territory might do the trick for a few more buyers here, and then we could maybe draw that Fibonacci again and see what happens next. But in general, look, one of the patterns that I've talked about a while ago, and I want to kind of revisit that pattern, is because it's basically whenever we have like a sharp decline like this initially, and then we have a further gradual decline, well, it eventually ends up with a sharp move to the upside, or maybe not as sharp as this one, maybe a strong push to the upside. So yeah, keep your eyes on that one, guys, and certainly do not exclude this idea, because again, I've seen this idea working out a few times. So let's keep an eye on that one. But if it starts falling below the 0.8555, then yes, I'm going to start looking at some lower levels. US dollar against the Chinese yuan, guys. So I just wanted to pick up on this one just because, again, we had some news today. But in general, look, I haven't looked at this for quite a while. I mean, since we kind of broke the psychological 7 level, and I think that after that we reached the 7.28. 56 territory, approximately around here. That was back at the end of June. Since then, we started drifting lower. We found then good support near the 7.1228, rebounded from it, pushed higher, and now we're stuck in here. So what's next? Basically, I would like to see maybe a drop below this 7.12 territory. But actually, you know what? I'm going to start looking at some lower levels if we do start falling back below the 50-day EMA, and then yes, we could take it from there. For the upside, I would like to see a push above the 7.2365 territory, and yes, then we could consider a move a little bit back up here towards the highest point of June. Again, we'll see. Again, this is quite an important level here from the very short-term perspective. If we do climb above it, then yes, I will consider a move a little bit to the upside. Now, GBPCAD, just a quick update on this one. Perfect. Look, general mission accomplished. I reached my target, the 61.8%. Reached my target near the 50-day EMA as well. So fantastic. What's next? Well, the next, I think, is to get rid of everything and start fresh. Now, I'll bring some of the lines back up here. I mean, this one, actually, you know what? This one's no longer needed. I think that it's better to mark something around this. So, or even better, around here. Yeah, something around this one. So look, good potential area of support could be this upside line. So in a way, what I'm leaning to is maybe some further declines here towards this upside line, and then we'll take it from there. More sellers could join in if we do drop below this territory, below this 1.6956. If that's the case, then yes, at the same time, we might also fall below the 50-day EMA, and potentially then, yes, we could see a continuation move towards this upside line. But, of course, I'm keeping a close eye on this territory. If it holds, if it provides good support, maybe a bit of a rebound here could be possible. But to be honest, look, this is a strong area for resistance here, 1.7335. Not saying anything. I get it. It's quite far from where we are right now. But if you really want to go higher, then yes, the first option, of course, is that you can consider an idea of a rebound from the 50-day EMA, but it's a it's like walking on thin ice, because it could easily break here and go lower because we still have some room. But if you're a little bit on the cautious side, what you can do here is just keep an eye on that 1.7335. GBPUSD, also, yeah, beautiful move. 50% reached. Fantastic. 50% reached yesterday. Great. This is my mission accomplished in a way. But the thing is that we're now falling again below the 38.2. The question is, can we see a further decline? Well, this would be really, really interesting to see. So I will take a simplistic approach on this one, to be honest. And I will say this way: as long as we stay below the 38.2, I am aiming lower again for the 50, and then maybe actually for the 61.8. We'll see. For the upside, I would like to see a push back above the 23.6, and then yes, I'll consider a move higher. This whole area right here will be on a little bit something of a neutral one for me. Look, with the Fibonacci's, I mean, for now it's working, and I like when it's working, and if it's working, then I'm gonna keep it on the chart. Once it stops working, then yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it. EURAUD, just a quick update. Look, this is a mess because I talked about this when I said to you that if we push and stay above this 1.6555 territory, then yes, I'll go higher. We did move nicely to the upside, but we failed to stay. And look, this is one of those moments where we failed to stay. And look at this. This is what's happening right now. We're drifting back down. So I think that yes, we're drifting back inside this triangle. We could still see maybe a bit of a further decline, maybe towards this upside line, towards the 50-day EMA, which is kind of hidden here below, like behind this upside line. So this could be a nice good target. So as long as we stay below the downside line, then yes, I will stick to the downside in the near term. This highlighted zone has to be redrawn. Why? Because I'm going to reuse it. I'm going to use it right here. And this is becoming quite a nice, interesting moment where maybe this is a nice ascending triangle, which according to all the TA rules tends to break to the upside. However, until we do not get the clear breakout through the upper side of it, this might still drift sideways here inside the potential pattern. That's the theory. So let's see how this is going to play out, of course. But for now, yeah, I'm leaning to the downside a little bit. EURUSD, this one is yeah, interesting. Okay, look, we reached my target yesterday as well, the 23.6. Bravo, beautiful. If you were on the same page, congratulations. Now what's next? I think this arrow has to go. I will actually remove it in general, and I'm going to stick to this. So in order for me to go lower, in general, right now, I'm seeing this one could be a nice good opportunity to go lower. This hurdle, I think I need to take it away here, and I want to do this. So I'm going to keep it short, keep it simple. And if we do fall below the 1.12 territory, guys, then yes, I'm going to lean a little bit more towards the downside. So this is my little hurdle here in the short run. I'm going to lean then towards the 23.6 again. And if that gets cleared, guess what? The 38.2 becomes the next good target. For the upside, I would like to see a push above the 1.1245. And I would like to see the pair staying above this area. And if we do stay above this area, then yes, I'll aim higher. I'll aim for the 1.1280 and then maybe above that. We'll see. So that's the game plan, the short-term game plan for now. Yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, your views, your rockets, your comments, everything. So I hope you found this useful. If you want to catch me tomorrow for the last daily Pitcher International this week, we'll have a look, at the markets. Some mostly these instruments, some maybe new ones. If you have something in mind that you would like me to look at, just drop it in the chat room. Doesn't matter during live session or after the live session. If I can pick up on that one, I'll pick up on that one. So just let me know. But I hope you'll have a fantastic trading day today, guys. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place. Risk only what you can afford to lose, and everything will be fine. So thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock GMT time. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Uh-oh, you just broke a digital image cursing us all to 7 years of market volatility. Undo by subscribing to our channel.